Thank you for taking the time today to come and listen to our presentations. My name is Kate Hewitt and I'm the publisher for Venuefinder.com. We work in one of the best industries in the world. And at Venuefinder.com, we want to make sure that the value of the industry is fully recognised. Events create an opportunity for people to come together, meet like-minded people, learn, have fun, and generate billions of pounds for the economy. It is a serious business, and we work hard to ensure that we deliver the objectives required at an event. So well done everyone here for all your hard work in that. I'm very honoured to be able to introduce some special guests this morning who will be talking in more detail about some of the initiatives that Venuefinder.com is sponsoring. Firstly, I'd like to introduce Michael Hirst, the chairman of the BVEP. Thank you, Michael.
Well, good morning, everybody. As it's quite early on a Wednesday morning, I thought we'd best start with a toast to the UK events industry. So all of those of you who've got a glass of champagne, let's drink a toast to the UK events industry, because it's really worth toasting in the most kindest way. I'm delighted to introduce this session, which will explain to you the highlights of the industry's major self-promotion campaign for 2014, which is termed National Events Month. It's going to take place in October, and it's part of the Britain for Events campaign, and you're going to hear a lot more about that from our first speaker. But there's no better place to do this than here at the meeting show and on the stand for Venuefinders, one of the campaign's most vigorous supporters. In fact, looking at the Venuefinders directory, you get a real sense of why Britain is so great at staging events in some of the most glorious and most versatile and unique event venues around the world. And to prove it, Venuefinders has over 15,000 listed venues, which through its easy-to-use database can give you a wealth of information on capacities, rates, and so much more. And it's free to use, so get on pretty quickly before they put the fees up. It's supported by a team of knowledgeable experts, most of whom are on the stand today, to guide you to a venue of your choice. So a great service for a great industry, and it's also great to see UKTI, United Kingdom Trade and Investment, on the stand next door exhibiting one of the many posters in the great campaign, Business is Great. Now, we use the title Great, I'm going to put this champagne down before it drowns me, here we are, in a report which we published recently, the Business Visits and Events Partnership, which I hope is well known to you. It's the trade umbrella for 22 representative associations of every sector of the events industry. And this was a report which was called Events Are Great Britain. I have a copy of the executive summary here, and you can go onto the Business Visits and Events website and find 166 pages which attest to the greatness of this sector. It was a report that was designed to complement and take advantage of the government's great programme, which is investing £145 million in promoting Britain's business, both here in the UK and overseas. And by becoming part of the great campaign, the events industry can demonstrate how we support Britain's industries as well as the lifestyle activities of the communities around the country. We can show that events are an intrinsic part of the government's claim that Britain is a great place in which to take part in great business and cultural experiences, and a great country in which to do business, to export from, to invest in, to learn at, and to visit. Events in Britain, as you well know, embrace every part of Britain's economic, social, and cultural framework. They permeate every aspect of Britain's commercial and cultural landscape. They provide the platform for Britain to display itself to the world. And we proved it by staging an unrivaled Olympics in 2012. We're going to do it again at the end of this month when Glasgow sees the Commonwealth Games come to its great city. The Tour de France in Yorkshire over last weekend proved how the country's population responds to world-class spectacles and how great is our countryside and our natural heritage and our assets. They show off our unrivaled expertise in staging world-class events, utilizing world skills in innovation, creativity, logistical planning and presentation, and above all, just like Venuefinder, highlight the array of unique venues and iconic destinations that Britain has to offer. And add to all of that one of the best developed infrastructures with highly professional event service suppliers, you can be assured of delivering a memorable experience. Now, this industry is now worth £39.1 billion in terms of direct visitor spend at events. That represents 35% of Britain's tourism economy. On top of that, there is much more value in terms of additional spend from accompanying visitors who come with delegates and attendees to events, the value of trade and exports and inward investment too, and the unquantifiable benefits of knowledge, experiences gained, cultural appreciation, and importantly, community cohesion. Britain for Events celebrates all of this and encourages those of us in the industry and those that we seek to influence to deliver strategies and policies that will enable events in Britain to do so much more for the economy and the community. And I'm personally delighted that Venuefinders takes its responsibility as the leading provider of event venue databases to back the campaign and become a lead supporter. And in turn, I hope that you in the event industry, event organisers, will recognise and support the work of Venuefinders. Now I'm pleased to introduce the mastermind behind Britain for Events, its campaign coordinator, director of the highly acclaimed communications agency Davis Tanner, to present the next stage of Britain for Events, National Events Month. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alistair Turner.
So, morning everyone. I think we're really fortunate in this industry to have so many people and so many companies willingly give up their time for very little to no fee to benefit the industry. And I wanted to first of all extend my thanks to Michael, who is one of the major people that do this on a regular basis on behalf of our industry for very little fee, but actually hopefully quite a lot of reward. But also Jackie, who speaks after me as well, to recognise what she does as well for the industry all the time. We're so blessed to have so many people that sit on our trade associations, that support campaigns like Britain for Events, that work so tirelessly to essentially make the cake that is the UK events industry bigger. And I wanted to do that because actually it's organisations like Venuefinder who do invest money into campaigns such as Britain for Events with an eye to making sure that the cake does get bigger for the rest of the industry. And what I wanted to do is, A, publicly thank them for everything that they do for this campaign, but also to explain some of the things that the Britain for Events campaign is doing with that investment that's going towards the growth of our industry. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. To do so, I wanted to sort of set up what Britain for Events is. Essentially, we are the most inclusive campaign for the promotion of the UK events industry, and we cover pretty much every aspect of the UK events industry to varying extents. We work very closely with the Business Visits and Events Partnership and very closely with all of the major associations. That wasn't me. All of the major associations that make up the UK events industry, and we cover all of these areas of UK events in some way, and we're directed by them as well. It's important to understand the people that we go after when targeting this campaign and who we want to influence through it. The first is about business. This is a business-facing campaign, and our aim is to try and get more businesses to invest their marketing, their HR and training, their sales, or the customer relationship management fee into events. We want them to do more, and we want them to do them better, and we want them to invest and liaise with our industry. That's about making sure that UK organisations and companies keep their events in the UK, but it's also about going internationally and encouraging major associations to choose Britain as a place to hold their events. One of the reasons why people do come to Britain for their events is the phenomenal delegate visitors that we have in the UK. We are a population that really understands events, and we like to go to them. Events such as this, speeches such as this. We're also the only destination that has sold out both the Olympics and the Paralympics in terms of visitor audiences. Everyone saw the furore that happened when the Commonwealth Games came on and the tickets that people that went for. We're basically a population that gets events. And what we want to do as a campaign is remind that population that they are a population that gets events, and to encourage them to go to events more as well. So the second audience that we target through the campaign is what I'm calling the great British public, and to try and encourage them to support their events, be that on a local level or on a national and international level as well. The third audience is industry. That's our industry. We're often criticised for having too many conflicting voices, or to having too many voices out there as an industry. So what we're trying to do with Britain for Events and working with all those industries is to present a united voice from the UK events industry, and one that's wholly representative of all the agendas that are out there across our different industries and the vastness of this UK events industry. It's not always easy. We can't represent absolutely everything, but what we try and do is we solidify that into some simple messages that means that we're representing as much as humanly possible about the UK events industry. I've put government last. In recent years, we've done a huge amount of work with government. Last year, we launched the All-Party Parliamentary Group inquiry into the UK competitiveness of the UK events industry. Try saying that after too much of that champagne. And we did a lot to try and affect that, and that will continue to go on. But actually, more and more, this is a campaign that needs to talk to business. We want to talk to government. We do talk to government agencies, but that's all with a view to making sure that it's easier for businesses to do events in this country, and that's our agenda for those sort of things as well. So what's our key objectives for the campaign? Firstly, to promote the volume and value of the UK events industry. This is an industry that has a huge amount of impact into the running of industry. We facilitate business, we facilitate learning, we facilitate experience, and we get people talking. We think that has a worth beyond the value and the financial value of the industry. But also we like to throw the statistics in there that Michael's been talking about, which is to remind everyone this is not an industry to be underestimated. It's a huge industry with a major footprint, and it should be taken seriously by all of those audiences. We also want to show the people that organise events every single day, but that don't understand that they're event organisers, that they are event organisers. And one of our jobs is to remind them that there is an industry that they can work with, that they can pull into, and to make their events better and better. We also want to make sure that when people are doing events that they're doing them right, and to make sure that they're using the expertise that are found in rooms like this to make sure those events are fantastic as well. It's not always a matter of trying to get people to do more events, but it's about them to do them better, to invest more wisely of them, and to make the quality of the events product in the UK better as well. And then lastly, we're constantly being approached by businesses, by individuals that are interested in coming to hosting an event for information. And what we're trying to do is become a hub of that information so that people can come and find out what's new in the events industry, who they can talk to, what are the trends affecting them, what are the new technologies that are around there, and support shows like this, International Confex, EIBTM, IMEX, and all those other people, and sharing that information around them as well. We're essentially a marketing campaign for the UK events industry. We've done a couple of things already this year, but the main thing that I wanted to talk about today is National Events Month. We launched the campaign in spring. We did about 6 hours worth of radio interviews. We had Mike from Venuefinder representing the industry. We did a huge amount of radio across the country with regional radio campaigns, talking about specific events in specific locations to try and encourage the local community to engage with those events. It was a really, really great way to springboard the campaign out there. We've also supported the International Festival of Business, where for me the industry really showed what it's all about and got together and produced, I think it was about 7 industry events around the International Festival of Business. We were so well represented up in Liverpool, and as a destination, Liverpool really looked after us as well. It was a really, really brilliant time for us. But actually, one of the things that we're really excited about, which is a new concept for this year, is the National Events Month. This is in essence a month-long celebration of the UK events industry, and the reason why I was really keen to give this presentation today is to underline the point that as a campaign we will promote this as hard as we humanly can, and we're really fortunate to have the support of people like Venuefinder so that we can do that. However, the more people that get on board with this, the more it will resonate as an industry, and I'm really keen for people to engage in it. We've tried to split the industry into 4 different sectors, and we're going to have a week focusing on each sector, a really concerted week looking at these 4 sectors: conferences and meetings, exhibitions, experiential, then outdoor and festivals including music and sport, and then corporate hospitality. Each one of those weeks will have its own PR and communications campaign behind it, its own message curated to suit that part of the sector. And what we're hoping is, as those events all come together and those weeks all to come together, they'll create a festival feel in the media around the National Events Month. As part of this, we're already talking to the Business Visits and Events Partnership about a manifesto that's being produced that's going to be given to all of the major political parties, and we're going to use that the National Events Month to launch that manifesto to those parties so that events will have a voice with whatever government comes in. In each one of those weeks, we're looking to have a host event that we feel best epitomises each one of those 4 sectors, whether that's a corporate hospitality event, a major conference, and we're working with all of our supporters of the Britain for Events campaign to find and have those events. In short, we'll have 4 launches around the country that's going to focus on each one of those events, and then 1 central launch event for everyone to come and celebrate the collective of National Events Month as well. We'll also be doing a parliamentary briefing, and again this is working with the Business and Visits and Events Partnership, who've been really proactive in terms of talking to the Department of Media, Culture and Sport, tourism ministers, to get their ear in terms of what, as an industry, we're looking for them to do to help us grow. So there'll be a parliamentary briefing as part of that as well. So in short, it's going to be a very, very big month for the UK events industry. There's going to be a lot going on. We're putting a huge amount of resource, both as Britain for Events and my other hat, Davis Tanner, to try and make this as big as humanly possible. We've got some amazing collateral, we've got some amazing messages that we've put together, and we're really, really keen to get everyone involved and on message and working with us as a campaign as well. I also want to mention as well the Events Are Great and report and the Events Are Great creatives. This is something we did last year. We basically worked with Number 10 to create a advert that chimes with the Great campaign just for the Events Are Great, for the events industry. These are adverts that are free to use. They're open source branding. We're allowed to use them. We have the permission of Number 10. And they're for everyone to use. So I would encourage people to go onto the Britain for Events website and download them and use them in any capacity that you wish. If you wish to change them creatively, we'd need to get that approved, but we're happy to do that on behalf of anyone that wants to promote the UK events industry. We're really happy to do that. I mentioned that I wouldn't talk too much about government, but I would say that we're still in a negotiation period in terms of the all-party parliamentary group findings. We remained a constant communication with that all-party parliamentary group, and again we're here to listen to the industry as well as represent it so that we can get those government bodies on side with it as well. We'll continue to do that. We continue to do that as a campaign as well. We're also working very closely with our friends over the road there on UK Trade and Investment on a number of initiatives that we think will add value to the UK events industry. We're very lucky to have people that from UK TI who have got our ear and that understand the power of events at the moment, and we want to work with them to make sure that we're hoping to grow the cake with them as well. And of course there's the government as well. We have been endorsed by David Cameron again, which is we're getting a bit blasé about it now, but it's nice to have support from senior government. It does have a trickle-down approach. We're really pleased to have it again from him. It does make a difference in terms of the stakeholders that we talk to as well. So we're delighted to have Mr. Cameron's support for the campaign. And we continue to provide information and resources to the industry. We're very conscious that people use our website and our collateral to learn more about the industry. And we would again encourage anyone who has information that they want to share with the wider events buying public to send it to us so that we can post it on our website and continue to be a resource. It's very popular with students if that's what you want to do as well. And essentially what we want to do at the end of all of this is make sure that we've presented new opportunities for the industry to grow. That's what we want out of it. Michael talked about the £39.1 billion growth of the events industry. The last time we introduced that stat was about 3 or 4 years ago. It was 36.9 billion. It shows growth, it shows we're moving in the right direction. We think that there's a major opportunity to continue that growth. We've projected just over 40 million for 2020. And we're really, really committed to helping the industry grow. So do get involved. I will finish there and pass you back to Kate. Thank you.